wrestlers who are masked right now. Sakshi Malik, Bajrang Punia, who all are there, and what's the plan?
What you see right now on your screens are the protesting wrestlers who have taken their protest, who have amplified their protest right from the national capital to now today in Haridwar. Remember, this is the movement where today the protesting wrestlers are going to throw away their medals in the Gangas, and this as a mark of protest against the inaction by the cops in the case of alleged sexual harassment when it comes to Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. Remember, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh has been evading the law time and again. This is what the wrestlers have been alleging. Right now on your screens, you see the laurel, the pride of India, who bought laurels, have tears in their eyes. This is because they're going to throw away their medals, ladies and gentlemen. That medal which they won on international and national platforms, which made them reach a mark. Today is an extremely sad day in the history. And remember, the protest does not end here. The protest by the wrestlers does not end here. They are going to amplify their protest, and they are going to sit on to fast until death at India Gate. This is the way that they're going to amplify their protest.
Right. For all our viewers who are tuning in right now, these are the images that are now coming in from Haridwar, where the protesting wrestlers who were in the national capital for over 2 months now. In fact, about 3 months ago, when for the first time you've had our heroes camping in the national capital, and all that they were basically demanding was strict action to be taken against the Wrestling Federation of India's Chief Brij Bhushan Sharma. In fact, sensational allegations were basically leveled against Brij Bhushan. They allege that there were multiple sexual harassment cases. In fact, there was a specific period that the protesters were talking about. Thereafter, remember, an assurance was then given by the government, by the minister concerned, that a committee would be formed. Effectively, the committee was then formed and a report was then submitted. That wasn't enough to assuage the fears of the wrestlers. In fact, they say that no action has been taken against Brij Bhushan. They were demanding that an FIR to be registered. The matter thereafter went to the court, and finally the FIR was registered. In fact, it was Delhi police looking into the matter. What is it that the protesters are now demanding, and why is it has reached this situation when you see our heroes who have represented our country, various global platforms, and have brought laurels to our country? Why is it that they are now breaking down? Why is it that they are right now in Haridwar, where they've given that ultimatum that they are going to immerse their award into the river? Now, that's the ultimatum that has been given, because they say that no action has been taken against Brij Bhushan. However, there are two sides to this entire story. The fact that there are allegations that have been leveled against the Wrestling Federation of India's chief, he's now responded. He says that all these allegations are completely baseless. The fact of the matter is that they haven't been able to furnish enough proof. What you're seeing right now, these are the latest images that are coming in. For a moment, perhaps we'll just dip into it and get you a sense of what's really happening on the ground. It appears that Bajrang Punia, Vinesh Phogat, as well as Sakshi Malik have been the face of this entire protest. And that is one of the reasons why we've seen the kind of criticism that the Wrestling Federation has actually faced. And whether at all there is any merit to those allegations or not, remember, that is for the investigative agency to look into. Having said that, it certainly causes a lot of embarrassment, given the fact that you have national heroes camping on the streets. They were in Jantar Mantar, braving rain, heat, still camping there, saying that their voice ought to be heard. But has that really happened? Because remember, when the first time when they were camping in at Jantar Mantar, thereafter there were multiple meetings that took place. In fact, swift action was actually taken, a committee was formed, and at that point in time, the protesting wrestlers were certainly happy about the fact that there was action that was taken. But what really happened thereafter? Why is it that they returned to Jantar Mantar and they continued with their protest? That's because they say that no concrete action has been taken against Brij Bhushan. Now, Brij Bhushan, on record, has said that there are no allegations that can stick to him. In fact, there is a political twist to this entire story. Some have made some allegations that this is also linked to politicians in Haryana. The fact of the matter is that there is an attempt that is being made to usurp the power from the Wrestling Federation currently, which is based, the location to be changed is what is one of the demands that have been made. As far as the sexual harassment cases are concerned, Brij Bhushan has been saying is that where exactly is the evidence and who are the people are you really talking about? Why don't you furnish the list of people who have made that sensational allegation against Brij Bhushan? All these demands that are now being made. We just for a moment go across to our reporters on the ground to get you a sense of what's really happening in Haridwar and perhaps listen in. Not very sure whether we can actually hear anything right now, but let's just try and go across and see what's really happening there in Haridwar.
Well, Shravan, remember this is a big protest. The protesters, the wrestlers have now decided to amplify their protest, and all of this as a disappointment against the inaction inaction against the WFI chief Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. Remember, it was on April 23rd when the wrestlers had resumed their protest at Jantar Mantar, and from the national capital to now to Haridwar, right now at Har Ki Pauri. The wrestlers have decided to amplify their protest and throw away the medals into the holy Ganga. And they allege that it is the inaction by the cops, by the government against the WFI chief, because of which they are taking this big step. Remember, this big step does not stop here. The protest does not stop here, Shravan. The protest is only going to intensify. And right after they throw away their medals in the Gangas is when they will go at India Gate. They will sit on fast until death. Remember, sit on fast until death at India Gate. And their demand, their only demand, Shravan, their only demand is to arrest the WFI president, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. That is their only demand. It has been more than a month. And remember, this is the second phase of the protest. The protest continued last year as well, but it had reached to a solution.